Welcome, one and all, to the Ganders Podcast. Today we will be talking about game remasters and remakes, all that fun stuff. I'm Dmpad, and I'm joined today by
Ptrickgeo.
And my name's KalCzar. Hello.
Alrighty, boys. I think which games do we want to talk about first? Because there's a bunch of remastered and remake games out there that we can pick from. A plethora.
Do we want to start good or bad? Start with the good or the bad?
Do we want to start
Or the
with
neutral?
I was gonna say we could start with the most infamous one, Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah, it's infamous for having multiple.
Yeah, it's had. Well, there's the original release, like on the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Then there's another release that just had all the DLC, and then it just gets released on all the new consoles.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Skyrim's a good and a bad one, right? Like, it's good and then it's bad
Yeah,
at the same time.
I'd say it's
Are there-
neutral.
Are there differences
Yeah.
between the versions?
Not really a whole lot. I think the newest version, it just had like a workshop where you can just download a bunch of mods and then just graphic updates. Besides that, the story and everything is still the same.
Yeah. But no graphic updates for the PC versions, though. I think they only did the graphical updates for the older Xbox and PlayStation generation ones, and they upgraded the graphics for the newer generation stuff.
I could have sworn that they did it for PC, but
No, I just read an article because I just recently started streaming it. I was reading up on it. They said basically PC doesn't get a graphics update because it's already updated to where it is at.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Seeing
Mhm.
as like you can just do mods to upgrade the graphics.
Yeah.
Modding on PC has always been easier. Workshop's been around for a while.
Yeah.
They did add the anniversary edition stuff, which was nice at least, and that was more content. But it was just content from the creator-made DLC store that they have there, or the marketplace store. They just added a bunch of famous ones from that to the
Yeah.
game.
Hmm.
So they're official now, but like not really. They weren't created by like the Bethesda team, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's good. I don't know. We mentioned it last week how this game's lived on for a long time, and I think that was good. I think them constantly updating it, partially because the community's still alive, is really smart.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not really updates, it's just re-releasing it on new consoles.
Yeah, they've re-released Skyrim so much that I think that there is a meme going around that you could just play it on your smart fridge at this point.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's available on Amazon Echo.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it's like a role play thing where it's like, do you slash the Yeti? Yes, I slash the Yeti.
Yeah.
I use Fusroda.
Yeah, it's like the classic text-based adventures. But it's all
Yeah.
voice.
Which is pretty cool, honestly. I like that a lot.
I do as well.
Yeah, it's
I like-
interesting.
Yeah. I do like it when games do get re-released, but there's like differences. Which is kind of like the major difference between a remake or a remastered. Remastered, you just mostly get like maybe like updated graphics and maybe a little thing here, but the story's still the same. Where remakes, they could change the story, change a little bit of here and there, and then graphics, of course.
Yeah, and on that, we can use an example of a remake, Final Fantasy VII. That has a remake.
Yeah, I played the first half of it. I'm just because they kind of split up the first half and the second half between re-releases or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never played the original. I just know it's more like a turn-based combat system where the remake isn't.
Yeah, it's real time.
Yeah, and I believe from what I've heard they changed some stuff around that happened from the original to this one.
Yeah, I believe there were a few like minor story changes.
Yeah.
Huh. That's nice that they do that. I've never played Final Fantasy, so I wouldn't have I really don't know anything about that game.
I played a
Is it
little
good?
bit of them, but like the whole Final Fantasy franchise is just infamous. Yeah,
Mm.
from the original, specifically speaking of Final Fantasy VII, the original, which is with Cloud, Sephiroth, Aerith. There's like the, I don't want to give too much away, even though it's like a very well known scene of
Oh yeah, is it the do Sephiroth? Is it that scene where he has a giant sword?
I'm sorry, your beat was so off it just shut my brain off. Uh, I mean, Sephiroth is involved, and it's with another character, and it's
And
with
he's playing a trombone.
no, he's descending from the sky, and that's all I'm saying on that.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
talking about the scene with the dress.
Oh yeah, where Cloud cross dresses. I mean, that is in the remake,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah,
have
it's
to
in
dance
both.
in said dress, I believe.
Yeah, there's
Yo,
a
we
whole
support
minigame
that.
sequence.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember doing
Huh.
that dance sequence. It sucked.
I
did horrible.
wait, Cloud does a Dance Dance Revolution in Final Fantasy? Holy shit, I love that.
It's more of like a quick time event.
What's
Yeah.
a Dance Dance Revolution? Like you pull out your dance pad and you have to it's like the crossover of the century.
No, it's more of like I realize how bad I
Hey.
suck at time-based clicking.
Wait. Think of it like this. Dance Dance Revolution is just a foot-based QuickTime event. Thoughts?
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah,
I completely agree. It's a foot-based QuickTime event. That's like the whack-a-mole. Same thing. It's a hand-based QuickTime event.
Yeah, it's just
Moles.
more involved.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I thought of Final Fantasy VII when we were just picking our images for the video podcast.
Okay, well, since we're on the remaster train of Final Fantasy, right? And I don't know much about Final Fantasy, but I like this already, okay? Hear me out. We can play this at every game, but especially Final Fantasy. We do the whack-a-mole thing, and we have 4 whack-a-moles. We do X, Y, B, A, the classic whatever buttons. And then for the movement, you use your feet and hit the whack-a-mole, the A, X, Y, A, B buttons at the right time to move.
I've seen
think it'd be a
people
fun
play
controller.
like classic Mario using a DDR dance pad.
I love that.
That is hilarious.
That's so good. Or like a steering wheel or something like that. We should definitely
Yeah.
use that would be so fun, honestly. I love
I
that.
mean, since you brought
So-
up Whack-A-Mole too, Cal, that reminded me of another game that kind of got remastered, and it was Mario Party. Because
Oh,
Mario
yeah.
Party Superstars is a bunch of the older maps and stuff just updated, just better graphics.
is that?
Well,
Okay, that was a weird one though because that's like
it isn't a
amalgamation.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
amalgamation.
off, but it kind of fits because it's a bunch of older maps and everything just redone and or like
yeah.
that updated graphics.
Yeah, the older maps were so realistic that they were missing a lot of modern features, weren't they?
Yeah. I don't know what modern features you.
I want to
thinking?
say there was no online, or was it?
Uh,
No, online was only mini games. There is no board version, right?
I think so. Given some of them
Oh.
are from like Mario Party 1 and 2, which is an N64, so there was no internet to speak of.
Yeah, but
There's
in the modern era,
Yeah, true.
the party game not able to do online with its main game mode.
who logically does that? What? That makes
I
no
want to
sense.
say,
Nintendo.
I want to say they eventually added it, but I'm not positive.
I mean, you can do online with the board and Superstars.
Maybe Nintendo's netcode is so bad that there's like, oh, we gotta postpone it by 2 months, but we have to release the game. So release the game,
Oh, I
and then
mean,
we'll fix it in
just-
post.
Just look at another remaster, Super Mario 3D All Stars. That one was literally just using the open source Dolphin and emulation engine to run their games. All the
That-
bugs from the Dolphin engine and all.
That's the equivalent of Elon Musk thinking he's funny and just taking someone's like response to his tweet and using it as his own as a comeback. That's that's basically the same thing. It's just reusing reusing stuff.
I mean, I'll continue the trash on Nintendo remastered or remake bandwagon. This also relates to the picture I chose for my name for the podcast. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. The most hyped up Pokemon remakes of Gen 4, and it's literally just cut and paste from the original game, just in a chibi format.
They did give some good artwork though. It looks cute.
Yeah, with the exception of the
it was-
underground.
Yeah, what's the exception of the underground? You mean like one of the only two changes that they made?
Yeah,
No,
true.
Even the opening sound is the exact same sound from the original. The story is the exact same.
Oh,
The
yeah.
previous remake that they did was Gen 3, where they did, like, where they just changed the story a little bit. And then, updated battle mechanics and stuff like that. So it's still a remake and faithful to the original, but also slightly different. This one's just literally just cut, paste, boring.
Okay, I didn't realize the previous ones were just cut and paste stories.
There are similarities, but they added a little differences to it.
Yeah, like Let's Go Eevee added the Let's
Well,
Go mechanic.
Well, the Let's Go games are a bit different.
I've never played them.
They're different.
Well, all I know is about Diamond and Pearl, like the remakes. I don't understand why they didn't like just take Platinum and remake that and make it more advanced. That makes no sense.
That's what people were wondering too.
Like call it like Perfect Platinum. Boom. I know it's just one game,
Yeah.
but like
I was hoping
that won't make the money.
Platinum it would have been like mixed into the other two.
That would have been
it
so
should
much
have.
nicer.
Like I don't know, Platinum. Like from what I hear, Platinum is like the best one out of those three, right? Platinum.
It is, yes, because
Yeah, it's the third one that
it's-
released.
yeah, it has a similar story, just slightly different, and the pacing is a lot better. For anyone that's played Gen 4, they can attest to this, because the way the map is set up, I think by the time you have to go face the third gym, you go into the town where the sixth gym leader is, so then you can't enter it yet, so you have to go all the way around, be third, fourth, and like either it might be the sixth or it might be the fifth gym leader. Anyway, you have to go and be a few more gym leaders, and you have to wrap all the way back around into that town to fight that gym leader whose town you're already in.
Yeah.
That
And
is
then
interesting.
yeah, and then in Platinum they went, okay, so you beat the first and second gym. We know that you're technically like the fifth gym leader or later gym leader, but you passed their town first, so go fight them. Their team's gonna be just a lower level, so your level should be around there. So you go fight them.
Okay.
And I. Oh, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, and that's how remakes should be. Platinum, I would consider a remake of Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, heck yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon does a bunch of remakes. Like they've remade Gen 1 X amount of times.
Like 5 times or 4
Yeah.
times now.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, and almost every other game release before each new gen, they do a remake.
Which leads me to how they should have done Diamond and Pearl. Again, I've only played like really one legit Pokemon game, like other than like randomizers. But like, what they could have done too is they could have done the Omega Ruby and like Sapphire route, right? They could have added like the mechanic of that generation into the game too, which would have been really cool. Imagine Gigantamax, Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
That's like that would be cool. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. But no, they didn't. They didn't take any of the game mechanics from the gen that released right before it. So that would have been Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Take their game mechanics, their engine, whatever, and throw it over. No. They got a different studio to make the game. and I'm using make in air quotes here, they literally just cut and paste, change the graphics, everything's still the same basically. Pokemon that follow you, their heights are like so disproportionate to what they actually are.
Oh
And it's
yeah, I
just
saw that.
yeah. And there's
I
actually
also
there's actually people in the community who have been modding the game, just fixing those alone.
thought the walking speed's really messed up in that game too. Like I think it's this game and the heights too. Or yeah, you talk about the heights were a bit messed up, but the walking speed's also screwy. So like Pokemon are actually like so slow. Like they're not even walking behind you, you know?
Yeah, and that's just a this is just a great example of like a bad remake.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not the only ones making bad remakes. There's the Halo
no.
Master Chief Collection.
I was hoping
Tell me
someone
about
would have
that.
brought that up.
Tell me about how that one's shit.
So-
Oh, no.
That one, when it was announced that it would have local co-op. You know, like couch co-op, like a classic shooting game.
Yeah.
Wow. I forget how recently, but they officially announced that was canceled. The game's been out for a bit. There's a free multiplayer version of it, and then the story is a
Okay.
paid DLC, quote unquote.
Okay, yeah, they did the
Oh.
same thing with like Halo Infinity, where the story was paid, but multiplayer was free.
I'm pretty sure this is. I gotta double check to not think of Infinity.
How did
Yeah.
they?
Because I know.
Wait.
No, they did have a Master Chief collection back when like the Xbox One, I think, came out,
Yeah.
Chief Collection.
where it was basically like the same game for like the Halo 1. Well, actually, yeah, all the games on it were the exact same game. But I think
Yeah.
Halo 1 and Halo 2, they had updated graphics.
Oh, okay,
So
this
it's like
costs
H-
money. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking
so-
of
okay.
Infinite.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
But-
they still had a Master Chief collection, so. But yeah.
Yeah, they still
Yeah,
did
but
it.
there was like a
Yeah.
button you could click to on your controller that would take you to between old graphics and new graphics. It was just so like
Yeah.
for people who haven't played like the originals, they could play like with like the original graphics, or they could play with the updated graphics.
Yeah, and this came out in
That-
2019. For
Yeah,
reference.
I didn't mind
seems-
I didn't mind it because I never played the first or second one
Okay.
Yeah.
prior to that. So
I've never played a Halo game either, but like,
But I do remember
this is wild.
I've played all
not
of the last two.
including Forge mode, which, if you're unaware, it's the map creator mode that was
Oh,
added
yeah.
in what, ODST?
Yeah.
I think probably. I just remember it being in Reach.
I think it was added sometime in there because I know map creator in Halo is huge.
Oh yeah.
It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, you can
that
have a
not
lot of
being a
fun.
thing.
Oh god. Why? Also, that person just got banned from Halo for making a map because he colored the ground red below some enemies, and like that's too gory for us. What the heck?
For a
Side
rated,
tangent
for a
right
rated
there.
M game.
Yeah, it's rated teen now. Actually, the last two are rated teen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, surprising, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, for the Halo remasters, that's what they did. They gave the players the option to for the story mode to swap between old and new graphics.
Yeah,
I feel
which
like
is a
that's
cool.
pointless though.
I mean, it's a cool thing, so you can.
Yeah. It's a gimmick,
See.
but also at the same time, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll hit you with the nostalgia, and if you hate the graphics but love the game, you can play in the updated graphics.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like if Pokemon had done that, people would have been less angry because you could have just switched to the old graphics.
Yeah.
There would have
That's
been even
true.
less different than the original, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pixar does have some character to it, which I hope if they do remake. I don't know. I don't think they're remaking Generation 5. I think they're just gonna come up Black and White 3 if they have the balls. I want
No,
them to do it.
they won't. They will do a remake of Gen 5 because Black and White 2, they're set in the same region but different story.
Yeah, let's just
It's
do
like-
Black and White 3.
Well, yeah.
Just say screw it. 3 Black and White 3. Just make a trilogy.
Well, actually, well, no, there's still differences, huge differences between the first and second Black and White.
Yeah. or bundle them together,
Yeah.
black and white, black
I
and
mean, they
white.
kind of
too,
already did remake Generation which one? 7, Sun and Moon, like back to back.
Ultra.
There wasn't much difference.
Yeah.
The major difference was they gave more information on like Ultra Beasts and stuff like that. Then they added like a few new Pokemon.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about a lot of bad remakes right now, by the way.
Most of it has been Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Halo. Because I feel Halo's good, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I never said anything bad about.
Yeah, mixed one.
The swap between graphics is only for story. A lot of people just play it for the multiplayer, so.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe it's performance, maybe. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just bit my tongue. Ow, that hurt. Anyway. That stays in. Two games that actually are really good, maybe the same company. Toys for Bob made a Spyro Trilogy remake and a Crash Trilogy remake. And I've only played the Spyro one, and I want to kind of play Crash because I think Crash looks like fun. They're fun. They're gorgeous. The graphics, the Spyro game is gorgeous. I will say it's a good looking game, and if you look at the graphics and the performance from the old version of it, it is a glow up, and it looks so good. It introduced a new generation to Spyro, which I think a lot of remasters should do, is reintroduce it to a new generation, which also leads into something cool too about those two games, is how good they look and how well they perform. They did really well, I think, on sales. I think they did really well. They lead to sequels because Toys for Bob made a Crash 4 game, a true sequel to the Crash Trilogy games.
Yeah.
Like the original Crash Trilogy. And there's rumors that they're making a Spyro game again. And I'm like,
sure.
that'd be so cool. Like that'd be fun.
Yeah, I heard both of those remakes were great. And remasters, remakes, whatever they are. And that's actually a great way of using it, is taking an older franchise that was beloved and bring it to a new audience, because it's obviously from consoles that aren't really mainstream anymore.
Exactly.
And it can revitalize it and see if people now would play it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
I think it's is a main goal of remakes, is to try and get the newer generation to get into it, while also appealing to the older fans.
Yeah.
To some extent.
Yeah. I mean, I do like remastered and remakes, just because I want to see like what kind of a different story route are they gonna take, how do they change like game mechanics, multiplayer, everything.
But there are a few that I think we've already even mentioned that are pretty obviously not to sell more of them.
Yeah.
They're just to sell the same thing back to them.
Yeah, agreed. Now, my question is, this is a weird remake I want to also bring up too. This is another Nintendo one that's really not a remake, but it was branded as a remake when it first came out. It was branded as a remake for a different console, but then I think it morphed into something different, which is interesting to me. Originally,
I know which one you're talking about.
The latest Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was actually a remake of the one on the Wii U that didn't do as well because of the Wii U. But I feel like it evolved into something totally more than a remake, if that makes sense. Like, it evolved from that.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what they literally branded it as. And, like, I remember, like, leading up to that, a lot of people were like, it's just a remake of the Wii U version. Then they add these new characters, and they add all these new mechanics and a bunch of stuff to it. Probably one of the best, fighters out there.
You could argue that all of the Smash Bros. Are remakes.
I was about to bring that up, too.
You could argue.
There's actually precedent for them to just remake something from the Wii U, like Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
That just released as deluxe on the Switch, and that was just a remake. And now it's got
and a
DLC.
Bunch of DLC.
To be
it took them a
fair,
few years to put out DLC, but they have DLC.
To be fair, on the Wii U version, you can only have one item. On the Switch, you can have two.
Okay.
Wait, you could always have... what? On
on
the Wii version, you could always have two items.
No, on the Wii U version, it was only one.
God damn, people, they downgraded in the Wii U.
Because,
Wii U era.
Dmpad and I had a friend who had a Wii U, and he had Mario Kart 8 on it.
Oh, okay.
I remember playing it and just going, wow, I can only have one item. And I would watch Mario Kart videos on YouTube, and I would go, how do they have 2 items? Then I got it for the Switch and went, oh, that's why.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's so funny to just bring that up because I guarantee, I bet you it was a hardware limitation. 100% was a hardware limitation for the Wii U. I guarantee it. I don't know why. I just feel like that's the reason.
Yeah.
like the Wii U will blow up if we have people have 2 items. 1.
Now, was the Wii U a remastered version of the Wii, or?
Yes, it was. It was them trying to. I feel like Nintendo likes to is very gimmicky, and I feel like they're like the Wii. We have to remake the Wii, and it literally is the Wii U.
Oh yeah, Nintendo plays their own game. They don't exactly compete with the main game consoles.
They do like coming out with remakes a lot, though. To be fair.
Yeah, but even with consoles, the Switch, that is a huge gimmick. The entire thing's a gimmick. Being able to plug it into a TV and then just pick it up and play it in handheld. It's a great feature, but is just completely 100% gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it also has the Wii feature of the Joy-Cons. It's the Wii feature.
Okay, Nintendo loves your motion controls, let's be honest. It's because the Wii.
Yeah, the Wii used to be their most largest selling console of all time.
Yeah.
It is now the Switch, but
Yep. And I feel like Nintendo, if you're listening, which I doubt you are, but if you are, in the case you are,
they are listening, always.
Keep going down the Switch route. Do not be like, we must innovate everything. Don't.
That's just what they do, though.
I can't wait for the Switch U.
You can.
I'm half expecting a Virtual Boy Switch, where they jump into VR again.
Oh my god!
Because remember, they tried VR first with the Virtual Boy, and it did terrible because they did not have the technology for it.
I can see it.
I
can see.
Yeah, they tried it with the cardboard Labo, which was kind of even more gimmicky than you'd expect.
Yeah.
You could play Smash in VR. But
fun.
you're
That'd be
just
wild.
looking at the screen just in a slightly different way.
Yeah. Gosh. Maybe all consoles are just remakes of other consoles. Look at the PlayStation. They're on the 5 already, man.
Well, I mean,
they're already on the 5.
consoles
The
in
5th
general,
remake.
they're just upgrading their parts, and that's all they really need to do.
Yep.
Sticking to the Nintendo bandwagon, I thought the game you're going to bring up, Cal, was Link's Awakening. Because it was just like a remake or remastered
they
version
also
of the
did
original.
that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just chibi-fied. That was basically Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, but Link. Literally the same art style. I'm not going to lie. It's the same art style.
Yeah. But the chibi actually fits that one a little bit more, in my opinion, than Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it anyway, but because I'm not a fan of the chibi art style, but
Yeah.
It has to
I guess
fit.
it has its place. I want to play Wind Waker for the first time. If they remake it, I'll definitely buy Wind Waker.
I mean,
If they remake it for the Switch, which I kind of hope they do, honestly.
Speaking of remakes, I'll have to fact check this, but I'm pretty sure. And this is a game franchise I've never played before, but I know it has a bunch of games on it. They're in the series and everything. But Kingdom Hearts, they have 1.2 Redux or stuff like that, where it's 2 point whatever, 1 point whatever, and it's just DLC and other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
does that fall under remakes, or does it? I don't even know what that falls under. That's
That might be re-releases,
Re-releases.
complete editions.
Yeah.
That's like Skyrim route practically, right?
Yeah, I think some of them were essentially Skyrim level remasters.
But I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
but also which is slightly different from the Skyrim, but same ballpark, is I believe they combine like two separate games into like one package.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because shocker, because I told you guys this already, but I bought all the Kingdom Hearts games, and it was only $50 on Amazon, and it was titled all in one, and it has all the Kingdom Hearts games on it.
oh my god.
Yeah, well, all of them
And,
that a console could play at least, because there's a few
Yeah.
mobile games.
Yeah.
But I think
I'm on
even
full
then it
story
comes
breakdown.
with
I mean, there's one game that's just literally a movie.
yeah, it comes with the cutscenes from the mobile game.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my god.
There will be one stream I do in the future where it's just a movie night.
That's exciting. I can't wait for a breakdown of that Kingdom Hearts franchise, Patrick, when we do that podcast episode and you tell us the story. It's going to be like that one episode, that one YouTube video, where he broke down the Kingdom Hearts story. And I was like, it's a hero's journey. Wait, I need the anti-villain circle. And then the hero's journey
yeah,
inside the
that one.
hero's journey.
It just goes off. Yeah, there are some funny Kingdom Hearts videos out there.
Yeah.
One of them was, I think I believe it's titled Kingdom Hearts in a Nutshell.
Something.
And one of the lines from that video is, you could replace the word darkness with bees and it will still mean the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good video.
That sounds really funny, actually.
Yeah.
Is there any other big remasters or remakes? Like, I don't know. I guess everything, are they good or bad? I guess I don't know if we've like are they? I feel like we've talked a lot of good things about them so far.
I would say remakes have potential to do well because because as I said before, you can change like of course they're going to be changing graphics from the original, and then like you can add. And if it's just like not super multiplayer based, if it's just like a single player game, you can change the story a little bit, add some slice of life stuff to make things a little bit nicer, maybe more challenging. Depends on the game.
Yeah.
And if it is a multiplayer game, just game mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything. So the potential is there for success. It's just we just haven't seen a whole lot of it, or we can't think of much on the top of our heads.
Yeah, I feel like a
makes
lot of
sense.
remakes, it's kind of difficult because people already have the concept of what it is in their head. So they have to do it well or it's gonna flop.
Yeah. Then for remastered, I would say and I'll use Skyrim as an example. If you never played Skyrim before, but you knew people who played it and you never really wanted to get into it, and they released a remastered version, that would be a good game to grab. But if you played the original, like the original release, there's really no point in getting the remastered version.
Yeah. I think remasters have more of a place when a new console generation comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It keeps them more relevant.
Yeah, which is really good. I have bought Skyrim 4 times. I'm sadly to admit that 3 or 4 times I bought Skyrim.
I think I bought
I
about
think
the same amount of time as you as well.
I
Given
think
one was as a gift, so.
I've never
Yeah.
bought Skyrim.
Hey, hey, take one of mine. I've only bought it twice now. That's one of the things I'm like, kind of ashamed to admit. Where I bought it for the PS3, the PS4, the computer. So I bought 3 times. Yeah.
I bought the original version of Skyrim for like the 360, but I got like the collector's edition, so I like the Alduin statue.
Ooh,
I don't have it anymore, but
that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and I also got like a book of all the armor and stuff.
Oh, that's
Oh,
sick.
cool.
Well, it came with it, I should say.
You gotta find that Alduin statue.
I gave it away to Goodwill, so that's why I don't have
What?
it.
Man, I'm going to Goodwill now to find an Alduin statue.
I never really displayed it, so.
Oh, I would have
Fair
totally
enough,
displayed
I
that
guess.
shit.
I mean, I did when I was.
Alduin.
I mean, I did it when I was younger, but then after a while, it was just sitting in a closet somewhere.
He's the world eater. Like, when you bring a girl over to your place, you want to be like, hey, honey, want to see my Alduin statue? And I guess literally the
world eater
Alduin statue.
statue looks at us when we sleep.
That's the thing you bring on first dates, too. Be like, here's my Alduin statue. statue. Like,
Instead of bringing my wallet, I brought my Alduin statue.
Listen, that's how you know if they're a keeper, though. If you bring out your Alduin statue and you just set it on the table, like the World Eater Dragon, and they're just like, and they stay, you're gonna get married. 100%. That's your telltale sign.
Yo, girl, I would hold your hand with this Alduin statue.
Oh my god! Wait, it's like the meme where you're holding the hand. The guy is holding the girl's hand, and then he looks behind him, and instead of a girl, it's the Alduin statue.
Okay then.
On their thumbnail.
Yeah,
Yep.
that
There
makes
you
no
go.
context.
Well, you can change it around, but
Yeah, but
that just Photoshop the meme and it works.
Oh my god. Girls,
Yeah.
wait, girls would think guys are thinking about, like, you know, like that classic stupid meme.
Oh,
is, like,
yeah.
what they think guys are thinking about. They're like, guys are actually thinking about Alduin statues. Oh my god, I'm losing it.
But anyway, to bring us back, yeah, so remastered. It's just mostly just for like people who haven't played the original.
Yeah,
In my
yeah.
I agree on that, honestly.
yeah.
Or if it's like Spiral or Crash, where it's been like years, decades since it's been
Yeah.
relevant.
Yeah.
And those were basically remakes. That they upgraded everything. Even though I don't know if the stories were like, the stories were probably pretty similar, I think. But like they are like, I think they add like a dedicated like full on development team making those instead of just like you know what I mean? Like it definitely shows that there's like a love and care put into it.
Well,
You
with
can
something
definitely
that
tell.
old, you'd have to have a full team to make it because it's not going to copy over correctly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask Nintendo of Mario.
Ask Nintendo with Pokemon.
Those aren't even as old as the Crash and Spiral, right?
No, they're not.
I
Unless
don't
you want to
think
look
so.
at Gen. Well, I don't think Gen 1 would still be that old.
I think 64 released before the first Spyro game. When did the... Let's see here. 1998 was the first Spyro game. September 10th, 1998 was the first Spyro game. Alright, Mario 64 release. I think...
Here, I'm gonna look up one.
Yeah, 96.
96.
June 23rd, 96 for Mario 64.
Here, let me look at the
Yeah.
Pokemon
Okay.
Gen 1 release.
So Nintendo just is like, this is the old game. Put it back on.
Yeah. And it obviously didn't work. Didn't
Yeah.
work well, I should say.
Oh my god. I wonder if people...
Pokemon Gen 1 was released September 28th, 1998.
Dang. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts?
My final thought is just be careful and put love and care in your remasters / your remakes of your video games.
Yeah.
And Remaster Animate is amazing because it re-updates the shitty graphics, especially in old Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
just throw that in there out of nowhere.
So to slow it down to people who can't hear at supersonic speed.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm just roasting you, bud.
I'm
Yeah,
fast boy.
Yeah, developers should just take more loving, tender care when they're doing like remakes. Just add a little bit of slice of life, change mechanics, don't update graphics. Don't like half-ass it.
Yeah.
For remastered, for
Yeah.
older, like really older games, just take your time and everything. And just, yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and you consumers out there, I know you're being seen. Don't pre-order every remaster without thinking. Just have a little bit of caution. For example, there's a new Dead Space remake coming out. Don't know how it's going or anything. Just think a little bit. Maybe wait until after release. See if it actually holds up to the original before you waste money on it.
Yes. Yeah. Don't waste your money on pre-ordering. Just don't pre-order in general, honestly. Pre-ordering is pretty toxic. Don't do it. Like, don't do it until you know if the game's actually good or not. You know,
Yeah.
especially remasters and stuff.
Yeah, I stopped pre-ordering Borderlands games because of Tales from the Borderlands, the new one.
You were excited for that one too.
Yeah, and I just didn't buy it because I had already been weary on them, and yeah.
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 All
Well,
right.
anyways,
Yeah, that just about does it.
make sure you get your Alduin statues ready, everyone. For...
Bring it on your first dates.
Yep. I'm Cal.
I'm Ptrick.
I'm Dmpad.
And we'll see you next week, everyone. Peace out.
Peace.
Bye.